Hello wonderful person, this is Anton, and today we're going to discuss some of the more unusual propositions when it comes to gravitational waves. The phenomenon that up until 2015 was basically entirely theoretical, but then was officially confirmed through the first detection of black hole collision by the LIGO facility. Which is really intriguing because approximately 100 years before that, back in 1916, Einstein himself predicted their existence, but actually thought we would never find them, mostly because gravity is basically the weakest force, and so gravitational waves in this case would only produce minute deviations of space-time, which would be extremely difficult to detect. But 100 years later, he was basically proven to be somewhat incorrect, because researchers were able to produce a facility that was able to detect them by using lasers. You can learn about how all of this works in some of the older videos in the description. And so by detecting these vibrations of space-time, and by seeing the ripples as they propagate through space, this essentially confirmed a lot of different ideas in regards to the theory of relativity, in essence confirming an extremely important foundation for modern physics. And while almost 300 binary mergers have been detected as of 2025, with hundreds more coming in the near future. And that's on top of another exciting discovery that we've discussed recently, where instead of observing waves in hundreds of hertz, researchers were also able to discover extremely long wavelengths by observing distant pulsars. And here they actually confirmed that the universe itself is vibrating as well. The video about this should be in the description as well. And so in essence, we now had a lot of different confirmations of a lot of really bizarre propositions, which though hypothetical and theoretical at first, turned out to be entirely correct. But decades ago, when a lot of these gravitational wave ideas were explored and studied mathematically, there was actually another somewhat intriguing proposition that still has not been proven. Decades ago, physicists also proposed the idea behind gravitational wave memory. So in this case, these gravitational waves, as they pass through various objects, they don't just produce ripples, they actually also leave permanent marks. A kind of a fixed wake or a fixed distortion that does not disappear and remains in spacetime permanently. And that by itself might sound even more bizarre and even more unusual, because here this unusual memory effect would be entirely different from what we actually expect from a typical wave on, for example, an ocean. And obviously this unusual memory so far has remained undetected, but in terms of theories, it has been proposed as well, and it does make a lot of sense. Although here, I guess, let's explore this a little bit more first, just so you understand how this would work. So in essence, just to understand this, imagine some kind of a pond, and you basically drop a stone into this pond, producing ripples. These ripples are what we usually observe during the black hole collisions, with these oscillations detected by LIGO. But instead of one stone, imagine you basically throw a bunch of stones, with ripples spreading apart in every direction, and then eventually stopping. But the thing is, even though the ripples stopped, now, because you dropped so many stones in this pond, the level of water in the pond is also permanently changed. Mostly because you obviously added a lot of mass into the pond, and so the water is now just a little bit different. And so this permanent change in the pond is sort of like the memory effect of a gravitational wave. It essentially causes a permanent change in the space-time fabric, even way after the wave has passed. And that's because in this case, just to use the stone analogy again, each of these stones carries energy. And so when they land in the water, the energy is transferred from the stone into the pond, basically raising its level just a little bit. Similarly, when a gravitational wave passes through a certain region, it also carries energy, and as it passes through space-time, it actually changes the configuration of space-time fabric, basically leaving behind a kind of a permanent memory. This is usually called nonlinear memory, because it actually arises as a result of gravitational waves interacting with each other. But in this case, the effect would be even smaller than the gravitational wave itself, because here, even the strongest gravitational wave we've detected so far has only displaced matter by less than the width of an atomic nucleus, and the gravitational memory in this case would actually produce fabric changes that are even smaller. But over time, with every gravitational wave, the entire fabric of space-time would basically be transformed, reshaped with every wave, usually shrinking by just a little bit. And that's because every gravitational wave that passes through space-time basically ends up bringing objects just a little bit closer together. Mostly as a result of asymmetry inside the waves, which produce these wakes that basically become permanent. But at least for now, this idea of gravitational wave memory is still purely hypothetical. It is untested, even though it's based on the math, or the same math, that was used to predict and detect gravitational waves as well. And so in that math, in those formula, there is also the idea of memory, gravitational memory effect, that should be technically visible. But so far, it's proven to be extremely difficult to detect. And one of the main reasons for this is because it's actually something that usually lasts much longer, but previous detections from LIGO were just a little bit too short, actually less than 1 second. So basically we would need observations for at least a few seconds in order to see if these gravitational waves are essentially shrinking spacetime. And in general, to detect this memory, we would need maybe two things. First, some kind of a floating instrument that's able to detect its own position extremely accurately, and second, an ability to measure these waves for longer than a few seconds, preferably even longer. And well, luckily for us, there is going to be a mission that's going to be doing just that, known as LISA, Laser Interferometer Space Antenna. But the problem is that this mission is not going to be launched until 2035. So yeah, that's like 10 years from now, or at least from when I'm making this video. But LISA, theoretically, should be able to detect these memories quite easily. In other words, it should be able to see these prominent changes, because this detector is going to be in outer space and is also going to be measuring waves with much higher wavelength and for a much longer period of time. But because this is going to take so long, a lot of scientists wanted to see if there's maybe another way we can maybe detect these memories by using modern technologies. And well, there might be two sources that can actually be strong enough to provide new evidence. One of them is what's known as an energetic cocoon, which is basically an enormous amount of debris surrounding a massive star that's collapsing and going supernova. And well, it turns out that during the production of these cocoons, they actually do produce very powerful gravitational waves as well, in very similar frequencies usually detectable by LIGO. And though they haven't been detected yet, in theory, if LIGO does see one of these cocoons, it might provide us with just enough information and long enough waves to determine if this gravitational wave memory actually exists. And that's because when these cocoons are formed, they're essentially the result of a collapsing star that releases these two really powerful jets, which at some point end up colliding with the collapsing layers of the star, forming a very powerful outflow that creates ripples in space-time as a result of this very powerful event. The only problem is that so far all of these events have been kind of far away, and so the gravitational waves coming from them may not be easily visible. But in this case, it might be just a matter of time before it's actually detected and confirmed. While on the other hand, in a much more recent study, the study by Richardson and his team, researchers realized that in some cases, certain types of core collapse supernova, or basically certain cases of collapsing stars, might also produce gravitational waves lasting for at least a couple of seconds, possibly long enough to once again detect gravitational waves, and long enough to detect gravitational wave memories. Now in this case, this was just based on modeling and computer simulations, so these have not been seen yet, but these two propositions suggest that there's maybe a way for us to confirm these gravitational wave memories using modern-day technology and current detectors. And eventually, in possibly the next 10 years or so, we might actually even have something like this. This is a proposed map created by NASA that essentially suggests what we might be seeing in the next decade as more and more gravitational waves create an actual three-dimensional map. A map showing us the space-time in a way we've never seen it before, and possibly revealing some unusual surprises about the entire universe around us. And so chances are that in the next 10 years, even before LISA becomes operational, we might enter a new era of gravitational wave science, discovering some mind-blowing effects we never knew existed, and basically teaching us just a little bit more about the universe. But as the space-based observatories become operational, things will most likely escalate really quickly, because chances are we might find something nobody knows about and nobody has ever expected. Which is honestly why I personally think gravitational wave science right now is one of the most exciting fields in physics and will very likely uncover some super bizarre phenomena. And as we've learned in 2024, and as you can discover in one of the videos in the description, it's already been officially confirmed that the entire universe seems to be vibrating with the actual source currently unknown. But we'll definitely come back and talk more about these discoveries and these phenomena as more discoveries are made and as more gravitational waves are detected. And so until then, thank you for watching, subscribe, share this with someone who loves learning about space and sciences, come back tomorrow to learn something else, support this channel on Patreon by joining channel membership, or by buying the Wonderful Person t-shirt you can find in the description. Stay wonderful, I'll see you tomorrow, and as always, bye bye.